gonna switch gears a little bit today, mostly because the weather's crap and I was looking for an inside project. Come on, let go. Let go. Need to start kind of thinking towards the applicator project so that I can possibly have it done and ready to go yet, or for this summer, which there really isn't any reason why I shouldn't be able to make that happen, in theory. Come on, snap in. Or not. It'll stay. So, I'm gonna take this thing down to the shop and strip off all the usable parts. And I need to get the that anhydrous applicator over here so we can start looking at it and seeing how parts are gonna jive, so we can figure out what's got to be done. So basically the goal today is just get the coulters off of it, get the ground drive unit and the squeaker or the piston pump off of it. Can't really do much else with it until I know for sure what I'm going to need for box tube out of the frame, because once I figure out what pieces I need off the frame for building material, the rest of it can go to scrap. So anyhow, hopefully it should fit through the door. It'll be tight, but it should fit. Guess we'll find out. It fits, but just barely. If the wagon hitch didn't flip down, it wouldn't go through the door. But I'm looking at it and couldn't figure out why the wheel and pump assembly was sitting in, and I got to looking, and it's the pivot pins kind of broke in two pieces there, which is kind of a stupid design on their part, because they must have slid the pipes on the pin, or obviously welded the pin on the axle, slid the pipes on, and then slid the whole thing up in this piece of channel and welded it in, so you got no way to change and or grease or anything on that pivot pin. So it probably just locked up and broke, or started to lock up over time and broke or whatever. But we'll probably have to do something to address that. But my boss has a John Deere 7000 planter, and he wanted to get rid of the squeeze pump and go to a piston pump, and he's got a John Blue 2455. It basically looks like this pump. It's just a single piston instead of a dual piston, or single chamber. Basically it's this section right here, not this and this, but because this is a 4000. But so today I was doing a bunch of looking to see how anybody, if anybody, had mounted one of those pumps on a 7000 planter. Couldn't find any decent information, but I got a plan anyhow. But just by chance, one of these, this John Blue still makes this L4000 pump, and to buy just the pump new without the ground drive kit, the whole 9 yards, just the pump is like almost $2,200. And I bought this whole schmear with the coulters and the ground drive and the whole 9 yards for 300 bucks. So that makes me feel pretty good about the purchase. So anyhow, I guess I'm gonna pull all these hoses off because they're junk. Just get them out of the way. Got manifolds, probably not worth keeping because it's kind of brittle. I don't know, I might keep it. I might keep it. Keep all the valving. I think it still feels all right. This one's stainless, so I'm definitely keeping that one. So, gauge is obviously junk, but it's got all stainless hose clamps on it, so definitely keeping those because those little guys are pricey. But yeah, just basically just start stripping it for what's useful. And we end up with a pile of parts. I had a heart attack when that pump took a nosedive. I wasn't expecting that bolt to break off all of a sudden, and when the bolt broke, I lost my balance and couldn't recover in time, and there went the pump. Probably should have had Dad come out and help me with that one real quick, but he's in a meeting right now and I didn't want to bother him, so. But luckily, the only thing that broke was the junk plastic fitting that was here in the top, and nothing else happened to it, so. No harm, no foul, I guess. Count our blessings on that one. And them coulters, man, it made me work for those things. I broke 5 of the U-bolts that hold the shanks on. Because the way they work, you got to bust the U-bolts loose to get the brackets to spread enough to let go of the tube. And if you're going to break them loose, you might as well take them all the way off and chase the threads and put them so that you can actually get them tight when you put it back together. Well, 5 of them, you just bounce on them with the impact and they snapped right off, which in my opinion, if they snapped off that easy, they were already corroded past the point of being safe to use. So shouldn't be that big of a deal to just have some new ones made. But fertilizer rust is its entirely own grade of rust. There's nothing. It's a grade above red Loctite. You ain't ever, even with heat, those nuts were, you heat them up cherry red, and you go to turn them and you'd still just be twisting the damn U-bolt. So it ain't worth trying. It ain't worth the fight. Just the only way you probably could have saved them was with a nut buster. But even at that, if they snapped off that easy, chances are they were already compromised from rust anyhow. So get rid of them, make new ones. So anyhow, this is a step in the right direction towards the start of this project. So I guess the next step will be getting the anhydrous applicator over here and getting all the anhydrous equipment stripped off of it, because it's just all going to go to scrap. I ain't going to use it, and you can't use it for 28 applications, so ain't no sense in keeping it. So anyhow, I guess that's it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one.